We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
You want a sports degree that is beyond the game? A degree that immerses you from day one and launches you into the business side of sports. With a sports management major from IUPUI's School of Health and Human Sciences, you'll have insider access to sports professionals and will learn from faculty with years of teaching and industry experience. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sport industry career.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can I help you?
Yeah, I'd like to order a hamburger, fries, salt, maybe a large vanilla shake.
This is a trophy shop, can't you tell?
You got carry out?
Everything that you need, we have here at the shop. Very unique. You order today, carry out tonight. That's our version of carry out.
All right, I'll take one of everything.
Well, that may take a little longer. We'll have it for you tomorrow night.
I'll be back tomorrow to pick it up.
We'll be waiting for you.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time. To pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
You want a career that will transform your life while you change the lives of others by helping them live well. With a health or exercise sciences degree from IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences, you will gain an in-depth understanding of the healthcare industry while preparing you for a variety of graduate and professional programs in health. And with Indy as your classroom, you will have clinical options within leading hospitals right in our backyard, as well as a degree from Indiana University, reputable leaders in the healthcare industry. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
You're good at basement basketball.
We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
Mortgage Group. I've been teaching here at Guerin Catholic for 13 years. I've been assistant coach also for 13 years. And I think it's important in today's world that we have young people growing up with the morals and values of faith-based education.
Hello, I'm Dwayne Thompson with Integrity Mortgage Group, and I support Guerin Catholic High School because I'm good friends and business partners with assistant coach Tommy Muscari. And any chance I have to support a Christ-centered education for today's youth, I take advantage of that opportunity and support in any way I can with my time, effort, volunteering, funds, and commercials like these.
Together we soar.
Guerin Catholic Sports on IndianaSRN,
where you're always in the game.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Heritage Christian High School as we bring you girls high school basketball right here on IndianaSRN. This afternoon, it's the Fighting Irish of Cathedral coming in at 5-5, taking on the Eagles of Heritage Christian at 6-5. Today's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group, building better futures one story at a time. Also by Bertner Electric, your licensed and experienced electricians serving Central Indiana. By IUPUI Sports Management, a lifetime of sports with a winning degree. Piper Logistics, 3 service, 1 solution. And by Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown farm equipment dealer. Great to have you with us here this afternoon. Troy Daragowski along with Clark Chafin, expecting a huge matchup here between two teams that know each other very well. And Clark, great to be alongside. The last time you and I tried to get together, they nixed us and sent me home.
They did, and that was an unfortunate event. That would have been a great game for us to have, but looking forward to today's matchup.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to get into the specifics coming up in a couple of moments, but you have two teams right now. One is heading in the right direction undoubtedly. The other one's still trying to find their way through their first 11-12 ball games so far. But you know what? That's why we play these games. You come out here, you're starting over tonight and trying to get yourself ready for the rest of the year.
Absolutely. Heritage Christian has won 4 straight and is really playing well with a young team and a young roster. Cathedral has lost 3 of their last 4, but have played some really tough teams, including Zionsville and Ben Davis on the road. So they are battle-tested and should be an exciting game for this afternoon.
Well, and you look at Heritage Christian, they got to a point where they were going, listen, we're 2-5 on the season. We need to get things turned around here at some point, and they did. They beat Covenant Christian, they beat Chittard, they go to Fort Wayne, they beat Fort Wayne South, and then they beat Tinley, and so they've won their last 4, and they're playing some pretty good basketball right now.
They're playing great basketball, and they're getting a lot of compliment from their young players. You've got Corin Marshall, Grace Marshall, Jocelyn Marshall, each kind of having their own good game at separate times. So they're all stepping up and helping each other out and performing really well.
Yeah, and you look at the numbers, and when you think about Heritage Christian right now, they're scoring early in the season. They're in the 50s and 40s, and now they're starting to get into the 60 range. They scored 61 against Covenant Christian, and then they scored 66 against Indianapolis Tinley. And since that 4-game winning streak began, they have not scored under 50 points per ball game. Kind of curious of what you've seen to them. What has made their offense start to roll a little bit more now?
Well, they shoot the ball extremely well, Troy, and it's that driving kick game when they get someone on the perimeter, a guard that can drive into the paint and be able to kick it out to a shooter beyond the three-point line, and they've got deep range. And once they get that ball, their feet set, they catch and shoot in rhythm, they're able to knock down shots. And when you get confidence, your rhythm continues to grow, and you continue to shoot with confidence, you're going to knock more down.
And they're playing at home here today, and you look at that Cathedral team, and the one thing that stood out the most, and you referred that before we even got on the air, all the 6-footers they have. It's amazing how big their team is, and it's amazing to have that many 6-footers on one squad.
I think I counted 60% of the roster are over 6 feet, so that's amazing in girls basketball. And not that they're just tall, but they're interchangeable parts. Layla Gold, a lot of times, the 6-foot junior, she'll bring the ball down the court. So what an easy transition game, right, to get into your offensive flow by getting a rebound and immediately just pushing, not worrying about kicking it to a guard, and you can get in your offense pretty quickly when that happens.
We'll talk more about these two teams coming up in a couple of moments. Get keys to today's game as Cathedral trying to go to 6-5 on the season. Heritage Christian trying to win their 5th in a row and move to 7-5. We'll continue with the pregame right here on IndianaSRN. Back here at Heritage Christian High School, thanks for being with us on this Saturday afternoon. The girls' high school season is getting very close to the midway point, and all these teams eventually will end up at the end of January really knowing where they've got to be in the state tournament. Want to remind you this broadcast is copywritten by IndianaSRN and the Indiana High School Athletic Association for the private use of our audience. The use of pictures, videos, and audio without the expressed written permission of the IHSAA is prohibited. Cathedral 5-5, Heritage Christian at 6-5, and Clark, let's talk about Cathedral. And they come in here tonight, as we mentioned, still trying to kind of find their way. What do you think they need to do today to pick up a road win?
Well, defensively, Cathedral likes to really apply pressure, and they do that in a variety of ways, whether that's full court trap, whether it's in a 1-3-1 half court. What they want you to do is they want the offense to play fast, to make mistakes, to get them out of their comfort zone, use that to their advantage, then to create layups and mismatches. They make those teams uncomfortable, able to, like I said, turn that defense into offense with that pressure. Offensively, they like to attack the basket. They have that size. Not only can they get that ball and drive and go downhill, but they also use offensive rebounding as another component to their offensive game plan. So certainly that's what they want to.
Yeah, and the one thing you did mention about their defense, are averaging around 8-9 steals per game, and that turns into points on the other side of the floor.
Absolutely, and you can force teams into doing something they don't want to do, maybe what they're uncomfortable with. Heritage Christian is a young team with freshmen and sophomores, so they want to make sure that they put those players in uncomfortable situations.
Heritage Christian at 6-5, as we mentioned, they've won 4 straight, and as you mentioned, they got to put up a little bit of size on the other side. What do they need to do to win today?
I like the Heritage Christian will play a lot of variety of defenses. They'll zone, they'll press, they'll trap, they'll go man-to-man. And I think that's critical for a young team and an undersized team to use some different strategies to try to confuse the offense, especially when you have some young point guard play. If they have traps, if they're applying pressure, to make sure you're not getting through that pressure with a dribble, but make sure you dribble backwards, pass the ball, beat the defense with the pass and get those open looks.
Here's how Cathedral will line up today. Gabby Gay, a 5'9 senior, wearing number 2. Abby Beasley starting, a 5'8 freshman, number 11. Nia Huff is a 6-foot junior, number 14. Layla Gold, the team's leading scorer, a 6-foot junior, number 21. And Taylor Lewis, a 6'1 sophomore, number 34. On the other side of the ledger, we're going to go, yes, Marshall. I had to get that in, Clark. There's no doubt about it. Corin Marshall will get the start today. She wears number 3. Grace Marshall wearing number 4. By the way, they are not triplets. They all are at a different age range here. Grace Marshall, a senior. Corin Marshall is a sophomore. Then Jada Wilson, a freshman. She wears number 13. Audrey Boer, the team's leading scorer, a 5'7 senior, number 14. And then Jocelyn Marshall gets the start. She's just a freshman. She wears number 23. Tell you what, you know as well as I do, when you get the brothers and sisters together, they kind of know where each other is all the time.
That's that second sense, so to speak, right? Where you play together, you get that feel, and it's a special time as well for those girls to all play together. You got to think of that backcourt, though, by the Eagles with Jada Wilson and Jocelyn Marshall, 2 freshmen that have really stepped up, and they've looked really good on film as far as making plays, not being afraid of the moments. They're 11 games into the season, starting to get used to that pace and tempo.
One thing I did notice, too, and if I may, before we take a break, is that this Heritage Christian team, less than 13 turnovers a game, so something's got to give. The pressure on one side, taking care of the ball on the other. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll get this one tipped off. It's Cathedral and Heritage Christian girls high school basketball right here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
This is the Frells family's land. When the sun comes out, the kids run and play right there. This used to be a shed. Now, it's where they get breakfast. This is more than just land. It's home. The Frells family runs with us on a John Deere 1 Series tractor. This land isn't the only thing that should live on for generations. Nothing runs like a Deere. Search John Deere 1 Series for more.
Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
We encourage you to follow us on Twitter at IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
There are the Fighting Irish of Cathedral High School. Heritage Christian will be introduced coming up in a couple of moments. I want to go back to something, if I may, and get your thoughts, Clark, that when you look at one team, as you said, The Fighting Irish want to pressure, force the turnovers. You got the other side of the ledger where you got a team, as you see now, Heritage Christian, where they really take care of the basketball very well despite being as young as they are. Something's going to give in there someplace.
It's going to be, yes, that's going to be the challenge, the chess match, and the adjustments being made not only throughout the game but also after halftime to see how it all unfolds. How often do they use the pressure and apply pressure? Will Cathedral go all out with the pressure, knowing that Heritage Christian doesn't turn the ball over? If they don't turn the ball over, then that's going to be really an advantage to Heritage Christian. That's an old coach's saying, right? You want to attack pressure. So if there's pressure and you're Heritage Christian, don't be afraid to attack it. You're scoring a lot of points right now, getting open looks, and keep shooting it with confidence.
You know, Clark, they have plenty of film on each other. They both have 4 common opponents.
Yeah, they do, and very similar records between them. If you look at the Chittard game, the one I was looking at, it was probably played them pretty close.
And by the way, it is right now a situation where the Irish have lost 3 out of their last 4, and as mentioned, Heritage Christian winning their last 4, and the Fighting Irish in the dark uniforms will have the basketball first, and you see Heritage Christian opening up in a little 2-3 zone here to start the ball game.
Yeah, forcing the taller Irish to maybe shoot it from outside, try to force them to their left hand, so to speak. Their weaker part of their game was that outside jump shot.
By the way, the Irish, no doubt about it, a little bit of a travel there, but no whistle. An air ball shot this time by Taylor Lewis, and Heritage Christian with that 2-3 defense able to stop the first attempt by the Fighting Irish. So will be Heritage Christian basketball for the first time. That'll be Jocelyn Marshall firing the shot and missing. The offensive rebound by Boer, and a second opportunity for the Eagles.
Troy, one of the things that will be an important factor tonight, if Heritage Christian is shooting that outside 3, you're going to get a lot of long rebounds from those longer shots. The Cathedral guards are really going to have to block out on the perimeter.
There's the first turnover of the ball game by Heritage Christian. Back the other way in transition. Shot will be missed by Gold as she falls to the floor. Ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay right here. Last touched by the Eagles.
Yeah, great play by Gold. I would like to have seen her maybe go with a left hand and get her body between the defender and the ball. But knocked out of bounds, and they were get a knockdown 3 there by number 11, Abby Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley, after the inbound, hits the first bucket of the ball game, and so a 3-0 lead. Heritage Christian basketball deep in the corner, and that's an area you got to get out of.
And on makes, you're going presses and look for those traps. Heritage is able to split it and get out of there.
Shot missed with the left hand by Jada Wilson, so Heritage off to a cold start. In transition back the other way, the Fighting Irish in the half court against that zone. Skip pass, wide open shot from the wing by Beasley, no good. Putback counts, and that'll be, I believe, Gabby Gay on the putback.
Long rebound, we just talked about down the other end. Long rebound, Gay on the perimeter, dives in, gets the rebound, then a nice transition steal by Beasley.
Boy, Clark, last night we did a ball game, and we mentioned before 35 turnovers by Covenant Christian last night. Boy, how important is it to really hold on to that basketball?
That's just 35 opportunities you're not getting at a shot at, right? And you can expect turnovers as a coach, but, 15 or less is probably pretty acceptable at this level. That 35 is an awful big number, Troy.
It is. As the turnover that time by Cathedral sending Heritage to the line, it'll be a 2-shot foul here for Jada Wilson.
Hey, one thing I'm impressed about Jada Wilson is that she really attacks. In both shots, she's able to use her left hand now. She's a right-handed free throw shooter, but she's not afraid to use both hands. So that's a nice feather in her cap for a freshman.
Free throw is short. By the way, that foul called on Abby Beasley, the 5'8 freshman for Cathedral. That is her first, and our first substitution of the ball game as Kate Bremer comes in. We thought maybe Bremer would start, but maybe at this stage they feel more comfortable her coming off the bench.
Might be a nice little spark plug for the Irish to have Bremer come in. She's second in scoring for the Cathedral, just averaging a little under 12 points.
So the second free throw good by Wilson. As you see the score there at the bottom of your screen, 5-1. It'll be Fighting Irish basketball, and stepping on the sideline, that's Beasley. Second turnover for Cathedral.
Well, that's tough for Coach Finn to take. That's those are ones with, you're not getting really pressure. That was just knowing where you are on the court and having a little bit of awareness. That's a tough turnover to take if you're Coach Finn.
That's why you lose so much hair as a head coach. Here's a three the other way from the elbow. No good. Is coming up short as Wilson will head back the other way. In transition, a open three this time. Goes in and out. That's Gold, unable to connect. Ball on the floor, and we do have a jump ball right here. And the possession arrow will go toward Heritage Christian.
Cathedral size, able to get that offensive rebound, or at least battle for that offensive rebound. Those 50-50 balls and those alternating possessions getting on the floor are very important part of this game tonight.
When you see Cathedral there, too, Clark, they went away from the man-to-man pressure up front, picking up more of a three-quarters court little zone trap there.
Yeah, just trying to change things up and got a nice 5-second call. Layla Gold, a 6-foot junior out there guarding the point guard. So long and wide. Not only tall, they're really wide and long, Troy, which makes it really hard to get around and initiate your offense.
When you do that little zone trap, too, the other team, you want to get into an offense, kind of disrupts that a lot, too.
Gets them and gets players have the ball in different spots they're not used to.
That'll be Bremer coming off the bench, hitting 2 points, her first two of the ball game, and it's an early 7-1 lead.
Good offense there by the Irish. You get the ball in the middle of the zone. That's where you want to attack every defense, but especially there in the zone, you can create a lot of things from that middle.
That is Jocelyn Marshall, who, by the way, broke that pressure, got it across the timeline. And you'll see the Eagles back now in the half court, and Marshall may have gotten away with a little push-off right there. Even some of the fans agreed with us there, Clark.
You can't pick your dribble up. Good hustlers, those 50-50 balls. And a nice hustle there by Wilson to get after it.
Boy, and everybody was in transition heading the other way, and Corin Marshall gets her first two. 7-3 your score. Cathedral wasting no time getting back into the half court as Heritage stays in that zone, and there is the third turnover, fourth turnover now by Cathedral here in the first half.
Well, Gabby Gay had the right idea, Troy. If she just takes one or two dribbles over to the logo and creates an angle to throw that down there to Taylor Lewis. Taylor Lewis is a 6'1" post player. Already had the angle, just needed the ball. Just got to work on that angle by Gabby Gay to get her a bounce pass through the post.
There's a nice drive basket, good at the other end of the floor. It's now 7-5 as we're down to 3:30 to go here in the first quarter. And number 14, I believe, was the one who made the bucket, Nia Huff, or take that. Anyway, it was. The momentary loss of our signal, but we are back. You see Cathedral has now opened up a 9-point lead, and that's going to end the opening period of play. It's Cathedral 19, Heritage 10. This is high school basketball right here on IndianaSRN.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
Well, Heritage Christian falling down by 9. Good run there put together by the Fighting Irish of Cathedral, and that pressure defense forcing a few more turnovers, and you have a 9-point lead.
Attack the basket on offense, get those offensive rebounds. Defense, make them uncomfortable, force them into the corners. That's one thing, Troy, that I've noticed during our game today. Either in half court or full court, they're really taking Heritage Christian 2 corners, either at mid court there or below the free throw line, really using the sideline and baseline to their advantage.
So now you see Cathedral, they've really done a nice job mixing up that defense as they go into a zone here and try to trap on the corners and sidelines.
Yeah, 1-3-1, played man-to-man first quarter, now using their length and to try to confuse the younger Eagles of Heritage Christian.
Jones unable to connect on the 3 as Huff gets the rebound. Cathedral now trying to up that lead into double digits. Ball loose on the floor, able to regain possession for Cathedral was Bremer, and then the shot on the way good as that was Layla Gold.
What set that play up, Troy, was Bremer's penetration to the middle, and against the zone, you're forcing 2 players to guard you. That left Gold with an open lane, and she's able to drop that 15-footer.
Got a whistle and a foul at the other end as Corin Marshall will head to the line for 2. Well, the one thing you don't want to do with Cathedral, as you mentioned, they played a very good schedule. Bottom line, they're coming in trying to find their way, and now they built a double-digit lead. Heritage can't let this thing get too far behind.
Got to stay close, got to stay in contact. Maybe set a little goal here to get it within a couple of possessions before halftime. I know we just started the second quarter, but Cathedral already with a 2-0 advantage and looking to add to that as Corin Marshall to the line.
Jocelyn Marshall back in for Heritage Christian, number 23, and the second free throw is missed as Corin can't get either one, but an offensive rebound. Good job hustling that one by Boer. Reverse layup is good with the right hand as Boer connects here in the second.
Nice play by Boer to use the rim for a little bit of protection there to get some space. And it looks like Heritage Christian has gone to a man-to-man defense here to try to change things up on the Irish.
Drive, nice feed to Huff, and Huff will get hit from behind. That should go against Grace Marshall. And we'll go to the free throw line here. Nia Huff for 2 shots.
All from Bremer attacking the basket, just like she did against the zone. There she did it against the man-to-man. She was able to get to the paint and draw a defender.
Yeah, Grace Marshall, by the way, just picked up number 1 and another missed free throw. I was watching that Purdue-Butler game earlier today, and they were talking about missed free throws. And we had a bunch of them last night, too. Boy, if you're in a close ball game, you really need to nail some free throws.
Got to take care of your free opportunities.
Yeah. Second free throw by Huff is good. And the lead now at 9 as you see a little pressure put again by Cathedral against the ball handler, bringing it up the floor. That is Jocelyn Marshall. Wilson down in the corner. The 3 rims in and out as Corin Marshall can't get it to fall, and then trying to save the basketball, stepping out of bounds. It'll go back over now to Cathedral.
That was a pretty impressive play by Jocelyn Marshall. One-handed rebound on the baseline. If she just lost control and lost her balance, or else that would have been a nice offensive board.
So Cathedral with a 10-point lead as we come up on the 6-minute mark here in the second period of play, and we have a whistle and a foul, and that's going to put Layla Gold, I believe, to the free throw line. Let's see if they'll give her 2 shots right here, and it will be.
Layla Gold just taking advantage of her size, able to catch the ball about the elbow and a couple of dribbles to her strong side and draw the foul, knocks down the first free throw.
Gold, a 6-foot junior, makes the first one. That last foul called on Jada Wilson. That's her first. Lead now at 11, and the second free throw, that rims it out, and the rebound by Grace Marshall. Ball loose in midcourt, a scramble for the basketball, and we have a jump ball. And the possession arrow will head towards Cathedral.
Jada Wilson, I've seen her 2 or 3 times on the floor. You got to like how hard she's playing tonight, getting after those loose balls, trying to earn her team an extra possession or 2.
That is Gabby Gay, by the way, number 2, who has entered the lineup here in the second period of play, and she'll work the point. As Cathedral now trying to build on that 11-point lead, they have held Heritage to just 12 points so far in this ball game. Shot on the baseline, no good, as Lewis can't get it to go. And it'll be Eagles basketball.
It was a tough angle there by Taylor Lewis where she caught it. It was tough to use the backboard.
Boy, just stepping up is Corin Marshall, a downtown 3. That was well behind the three-point line.
That was deep.
She must have thought she was on a college court there.
That was deep. Knocked it down, though. She's got a little bit more space. You got to create a little bit more space with these taller and longer Cathedral players.
Yeah, one thing that you noticed, she just caught, shot, got her feet set and shot. She didn't think about it.
No, right in rhythm.
The drive and the basket is good. Are they going to wave it off? Nope, they're going to say no basket. Good effort there by Aisha Diaz-Mendez, or take that back, number 11, and the other side, Abby Beasley. But they wave off the shot. So the foul be called on Grace Marshall. That'll be number 2.
I can say, Troy, I thought that might be an and-one opportunity. I thought the foul occurred as she was going up. Officials saw it differently and called it on the floor.
Either way, Cathedral basketball off the inbound basket, good, and the basket by Bremer again. She has come off the bench. You mentioned earlier she didn't start, but she's been a great spark.
She has. She's done a lot of really good things, not just scoring, but also setting up her teammates. She's been a very valuable part to what they've done so far.
Foul at the other end. That'll be against Anaya Huff. It'll be a 2-shot foul, and we'll go to the line here with Jada Wilson. So now we're starting to see the fouls build up a little bit more and the free throws as well.
I was just thinking that, Troy. Looks like Cathedral has already have 16 fouls, so their next foul by the Irish will put Heritage Christian in the free throw opportunity.
First one good by Wilson. And coming into the lineup now for Cathedral, Taylor Lewis. She was only out for a few moments, and coming out of the ball game will be Nia Huff, the 6-foot junior. So one more here for Wilson. Mentioned again, Heritage Christian trying to pick up their 7th win of the year to be their 12th ball game of the season here today, as the second free throw is good.
Hard to think, Troy, that we're already halfway through the girls' season. It just seems like yesterday the girls really started there at the end of October.
Yeah, it seems like it moves a lot faster.
Boy, it sure does.
There's a block shot inside, able to get the putback is good, and that'll be Gabby Gay fighting for the rebound and the putback.
Wait, great job of Gabby Gay of just staying with it, right? Not being discouraged when you got your shot blocked and going right back up, able to use her dribble to create some space and go back up.
So a 10-point lead, it'll be Eagles basketball. As we're at the halfway point here in period number 2, you get a good look at Corin Marshall running the point. We have seen Cathedral really do a nice job of mixing up their defense here in the first half as they've gone back to their man-to-man.
Yeah, they do a nice job of even communicating. And with Katie Bremer on top, with 6-foot long arms, makes it difficult to get them in their offense.
Kaya Crook there for Heritage Christian, a little runner on the baseline, able to get her first 2 points of the afternoon, 27-19. Back now for Cathedral as they work it inside. That shot no good by Lewis. And we have a rebounding foul on Lewis. We call that the double negative. You not only do you miss the bucket, you get the foul.
Oh, that's hard for kids to do. Any player, when you miss a shot you feel like you should hit, and then you try to go back and you're trying to make a play, and you get the double negative. The whammy. No whammies. No whammies.
So Lewis again with number 1, and into the ball game now for Cathedral will be number 24, and we'll pick up her name here in a couple of moments as we head to the free throw line. This will be Kaya Crook for the first time. This is the front end of the 1-and-1.
Good hustle there by Audrey Boer of Heritage Christian, sticking her nose in there trying to get that loose ball rebound. Just pried it away from Bremer, but couldn't get a handle on it.
You see Heritage down by 8, kind of hanging around here still in the first half, right when maybe you thought Cathedral would run away with it, but that has not been the case as Heritage trying to win their 5th in a row. That is Gold with the basketball. Nice crossover. Drives down the lane and a whistle and a foul. And this will go against number 14, I do believe, Boer. And we're going to go to the free throw line. That'll be number 2 on Boer.
It's a tough coaching decision there. Boer, your leading scorer, averaging just over 11 with 2 fouls. You got 3 minutes left. Boy, if she picks up another foul, her third one, you would have to definitely set her. So that's kind of a tough call here for the coach on what they want to do with Boer.
So you want to roll the dice here? Or?
I think down by double digits or close to it, I think you allow your senior to play through it and see what happens.
All right, Heritage Christian basketball, 3-pointer deep in the corner, no good by Corin Marshall, and a one-and-done this time by the Eagles. Back the other way, setting and shooting the 3 at the top of the key, no good there by Bremer. Had a pretty good look at the shot, and they too are one-and-done on that possession. Heritage Christian with a 3.
That's kind of offense, though, that they like to run, Troy, that drive and get the help from the perimeter offensive player and that drive and kick and that open 3.
That'll be Corin Marshall picking up her first. And looks like we will have a timeout. It's going to be a 30. We're going to keep it right here. Want to remind you, today's game brought to you in part by the Morales Group. They can match you with the right career or hire, and hire the right candidate for your company, and they'll do more than that. So let them help you today. Contact the Morales Group at 317-472-7600. And if you too, by the way, want to be one of those men or women that wear those funny-looking shirts that have the stripes on them, yes, you can become an IHSAA official by contacting the IHSAA office. Get involved with the men and women behind the stripes. It's a great way to stay in shape and make some extra money and be a part of the game. Here's how you do so. Contact ihsaa.org/officials, and they will give you all the information. Both teams are now in the bonus. So with 2:45, we may see some more free throws here before this first half is over.
Really nice second quarter by Heritage Christian, keeping that same kind of pace of 10 points. You got to gain some ground here, but I think the man-to-man defense switched has really been a nice change for them on this end.
Well, that was a nice 1-4 high set right there. Lewis on the roll and able to get the bucket. That's a nice play.
It cleared out the baseline and gave her some room to operate. Lewis kept it in her left hand as well.
Turnover, maybe. Let's see if Cathedral, they will come up with it. So Heritage Christian giving up the basketball here in the last couple of minutes of play before halftime. Gold able to control the ball after knocked out of her hands, and they'll reset it. There's that 1-4 high again. Let's see if they try one more time. Entry pass down on the baseline. Gold able to receive, drive, and score.
Oh, they like that set. That nice adjustment by Coach Finn, kind of clearing out that baseline, letting their players have some more room to operate down there. And they've had success. They scored, and they can get in your press.
Yeah, and it really is disrupting the offense here for Heritage Christian as the entry pass is picked up, but not clean, as Crook able to get rid of it. And that should have been a traveling call. Boer stepping up after she picked up the basketball and a missed shot, and we'll go back the other way.
That's the great example there, Troy, of a press. Boy, Heritage Christian was all out of whack, and it ultimately led to a rush shot, something out of rhythm, out of their comfort zone. Cathedral then able to turn that into offense on the other end.
Boy, we just talked about this game. You're hanging around, and all of a sudden it's ballooned to 35-19. As Heritage Christian brings it across the timeline, and that'll be a hand check call against Cathedral. I believe it's number 24, and it is, who picks up the foul.
And to your point, Troy, that was quick. That was 6 points. You go from a 10-point advantage now to 16-point for Cathedral. You got to keep doing that. Certainly found something on the offensive end against the man-to-man that they liked, and they'll see if they'll keep attacking that way.
So we head to the free throw line. As we mentioned, both teams in the bonus, and the first free throw is up and good as Jocelyn Marshall on the board here in the second period of play. Now a 15-point lead for Cathedral, 1:04 remaining. You know, I tell you what, I am impressed, though, how Cathedral did this, because it just happened just like that.
Really quick, right? I mean, they've got Heritage Christian going fast. They're able to transition for the offensive end and get shots close to the basket, and really did a nice job.
So the final minute of play, let's see what Cathedral will do. Will they hold for one or try to advance it even further? The ball goes out of bounds in the corner, so a turnover by Cathedral, and as a head coach, we'll go back to that again. You like to see how your team will react and try to make it look like it's a closer ball game. Can you hold on to the ball late?
Got to make those plays that are just effort plays, not thinking, right? Just being in the right spot and being able to execute.
The drive reverse layup again, this time by Boer. Could not connect on this one. A little bit further away from the basket, though. So back to Cathedral. Will they play for one? Nope, they're going to go for it right here. Bucket good by Bremer, who's played well off the bench here today for Cathedral.
Yeah, I've got Bremer for at least 9 points, Troy. That's what a great contribution off the bench to have 9 points.
And, of course, later we'll be naming the sixth person of the game in our post game and the player of the game as well. And right now I'd say Bremer is the leading candidate for the sixth player of the game award right now. Down to our final 12 seconds to go, a 16-point lead. Heritage Christian with the basketball. And we'll see if they'll go and just play for one right here. Shots on the way, no good, as it goes out of bounds off the miss by Corin Marshall, but it'll be Cathedral basketball, still 2.8 to go. Get a good look here. There you go. Roll it, see how far you can go with it, and then move from there as the final shot is on the way and no good. We have made it to halftime as Cathedral opens up. They had a 9-point lead at the end of one. They now lead it by 16 as we head to the locker room. Your halftime score, there you see it, Cathedral 37, Heritage Christian 21. We'll be back with our halftime report coming up in a couple of moments. This is Indiana basketball on IndianaSRN.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Today, greed, selfish interest, and barefaced corruption seem all the fashion. America needs great men of tolerance who can give honest debate to the great issues of the day. I'm seeing mostly squabbling, men squandering their time, being wolves to one another. Yet, I'm not without hope. We still have Freemasonry. Yes, the same Freemasons that helped create this country have always provided great men when needed. And today, in every city and town in America, Freemasonry is still providing that special place where young men can find their greatness and accomplished men can give something back. Yes, in this time of great hope, it is my hope that America will see that Freemasonry is a national treasure that cannot be separated from our country's future.
You want a career that creates experiences that are impossible to forget. By studying sports and events at IUPUI, you'll get hands-on experience in and out of the classroom. And with Indy as your classroom, there are high-profile events, sports franchises, hotels, museums, and large organizations across the city to engage, educate, and enlighten your student journey before you graduate. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to prepare you to handle any event, big or small. It all starts here.
Becoming a licensed sports official is a great way to make a positive difference in the community and support the over 160,000 Indiana student athletes that participate across 22 IHSAA sports. Sports officiating allows you to stay connected to the game, become a role model for our young student athletes, earn extra money, and support the patrons and communities of our IHSAA member schools. To learn more about becoming a licensed IHSAA official, log on to ihsaa.org/officials today.
I am Heritage.
Heritage Christian. We are Heritage.
I am Heritage.
We are Heritage. You're good at keeping the car clean. We're good at your insurance.
Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, online, over the phone, or in person, and stop knocking on wood.
High school sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirit, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSAA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back!
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Back at Heritage Christian High School, Cathedral with a 16-point lead. Great to be with you this afternoon for girls action as, of course, we continue throughout the night tonight. We'll talk more about some of the boys' games we have coming up a little bit later. But, Clark, I'll tell you what, let's talk about your head coach. You go into the locker room. You were playing pretty well, staying in the ball game despite all the different changes defensively that you saw from Cathedral. But then all of a sudden, Cathedral goes on a run. Now, what do you tell your team to try to get back in this thing here in the third?
Boy, it's tough. I thought offensively was pretty tough for Heritage Christian that entire first half. Although they got 10 and 11 points respectively in each quarter, they got to find a way to get to their bread and butter, which is getting to that driving to the paint and then kicking it out for a three-point opportunity. I think this first 2 or 3 minutes of this third quarter, Troy, is going to be really, really important for the Eagles to get off to a good start, to cut into that double-digit lead, get that 16-point lead down to 8 or 9 and going into the fourth quarter and giving yourself a chance there in that last period.
By the way, Rick Reisinger, you see the gentleman. By the way, Christmas music, we want to mention that as well. All day long, 24/7, up through the beginning of January on IndianaSRN.org. And you like that? No commercials.
No commercials. You can jingle all the way home.
And in fact, Clark says before the end of the day, he will sing a Christmas song for you just to get you into the
spirit. We
may
get you a little pentatonics, Troy and I, just a cappella, Troy and I.
I was going to mention Rick Reisinger was honored with a couple of players between the two games. You see Rick right there in the bottom lower part of your screen right there. 7 state championships at Heritage Christian.
Boy, it's amazing just to get one, not let alone 7. Boy, what a great honor and tribute in deducting him to Hall of Fame or whatever honor that they bestowed on them in halftime. Special coach.
Eagles basketball to begin here in the third. Let's see if they can cut the gap. Three-pointer is off the mark as Boer can't get it to go, but an offensive rebound. Boer hustling after the loose basketball. So Heritage Christian will get another look. There's Corin Marshall. Now they're 0 for 2 from three-point range to begin the third.
Boy, and if to have just one of those fall, especially one of those threes to fall, give yourself a chance to cut into that lead right from the get-go would have been a big help for the Eagles.
See the Eagles now going back into their 2-3 zone. Going to force Cathedral maybe to shoot a little bit more from the outside here in the third.
I like that strategy. Pack it in, make Cathedral beat you from the perimeter. They're so long and athletic that they can get to the paint and make them beat you from the perimeter.
There's a three from the right wing, no good as Beasley comes up empty. By the way, Gabby Gay had 9 in the first half. Bremer had 9, both getting the start here in the second half. As that shot missed by the Eagles, we'll head and transition the other way. And we've got a whistle and a foul, and we will go to the free throw line. Layla Gold back there once again here in the third.
Nice job there by Gold of using her left hand that time, got her body between the ball and the defender, and was able to use that shield to absorb that contact and go to the line.
Jada Wilson picks up number 2. And the free throw good by Gold. So far today, Gold has made 4 of her 5 from the line, and we will also see Jones come back in for Heritage Christian. Early substitutions here in the third with 6:43 to go and a 17-point lead. And the second free throw good as well. Boy, you look at that Cathedral team and the size, the athleticism, and you'd mentioned something during the break as there's a turnover by Heritage Christian, and back the other way is Gold missing the shot. Is this that they've made Heritage look so uncomfortable on offense?
Offense looked really hard for him in that first half, due to their defense, right? Cathedral's defense led them to easy scores, led them be able to be more aggressive and to attack the basket, and really threw Heritage Christian off. It's hard to practice against that size and length.
Yeah.
There's really not a whole lot you can do. Maybe get some brooms out there or something. I don't know, but it's really hard to practice against that.
We were talking last night in one of our games that one way that we used to do it many years ago, and I know that a lot of college women's basketball teams, they have a practice team that comes in, and it's generally guys that'll come in and really try to simulate everything you might see in your next game.
Yeah, a little bigger and stronger. We used to always go 5-on-6 too and give the other team 6 players, and that was also a nice tool and a nice strategy to use to really work on our offense or defense.
Heritage Christian able to get the offensive rebound, but then a turnover by Grace Marshall, and then Marshall fouls in the backcourt. There's that no-no again.
There's your whammy, that double negative.
So that'll be number 3 now on Grace Marshall. So she will have to be careful, though, from a scoring standpoint. Marshall has been shut out so far in today's game.
Yeah, and Grace averages 8.2 points per contest, so that's a big part of Heritage Christian's offense. If you're Cathedral here against the sagging man-to-man, keep doing what you're doing. You're going to have to be a little more patient.
Boy, they left her wide open. Good presence there by Bremer to hit the shot. She now has 11 unofficially. So the lead now at 19. 3 back the other way. And, boy, that was a much-needed 3 by Jocelyn Marshall.
There's that catch-and-shoot 3, right? It's hard for them. They're not as successful when they have to move and shoot off the dribble. But if they can catch and shoot in rhythm, they can really knock them down.
The shot by Gold hits the bottom of the net. It goes out of bounds, and they will say it will be Cathedral basketball. So 5:23 remaining. And right now, Cathedral in command of this one. Heritage in danger of watching that 4-game losing streak come to an end is Corin Marshall, the sophomore, back in the lineup now for Heritage Christian.
And if you're Cathedral, don't get lulled into that. We're going to shoot threes because they're giving it to us. Keep working on your offense.
Nice move inside. The shot missed by Bremer. You know what was unusual about that last inbounds is you inbounded, you skip pass. You usually don't see that.
Not a whole lot, especially when there was someone that may have been open a little closer. But
Heritage Christian basketball. 41-25. Here's another 3. This one's missed by Boer. She was way off the mark. And the Fighting Irish quickly push the ball down the floor. Baseline drive, and the ball goes out of bounds, and they're going to say that Heritage touched it last. Very close to a travel there by Bremer.
Yeah, kind of got caught in no man's land there on the baseline. Luckily for the Irish that they were able to get the ball knocked off and retain possession.
Little floater there by Layla Gold, and she hits that one now unofficially with 11. She, along with Bremer, in double figures for the Fighting Irish.
And that was a nice little floater, a little mid-range game there by the 6-foot junior.
Well, neither team has turned the ball over a ton of times in this one here today, though Heritage Christian at one point had a little bit of a turnover problem. They've gotten that one under control as the shot missed by Boer. It goes out of bounds, last touched by Gold of Cathedral. As you see a change here, and Lewis coming out for the Fighting Irish. Back into the lineup will be number 14, Nia Huff, who played well in the first half. And we're about at the halfway mark here in the third. Off the inbound, here's Boer. Drives in the lane, right-hand shot off the glass, good as Audrey Boer now has 12 points.
She's crafty. She's very good around the rim, jumping off 1 foot. She just plays basketball.
Nice entry pass underneath and a foul call against Heritage Christian. They will get Corin Marshall for the foul. I wanted to say it looked a little high-low there, didn't it?
Oh, absolutely. That's a great call, Troy. When you're against the zone, you can either overload it or you get some of those high-lows where a post player flashes to that elbow free throw area and they can look down to the block or they can look opposite. Those are your number one. Those are your best options for that high-low game.
Yeah, but let me ask you this. Sometimes you get that post player in the high, and he or she doesn't turn around and look, and it drives you nuts.
They freeze. They maybe catch it with their back to the basket, and they don't turn with any intention, right? Go in there with some bad intentions. Look at that high-low or look opposite. Those are the plays and the spots that are going to be available to you.
Yeah, because those defenders, they have to react one way or the other.
They do. They have to react.
Second free throw by Huff is missed, and they'll get an offensive board. The shot in the lane will be missed as well, as Cathedral had a couple of opportunities right there, and Beasley unable to get it. Turnover back the other way, and another foul called against Heritage Christian. This will be Kaya Crook.
Yeah, Gabby Gay able to come up with the loose ball and able to attack. Gabby Gay had a nice first half with 9 points. She's going to be a third Irish player to maybe get in double figures if she knocks it down, and I put the kibosh on her.
Yeah, we were talking about Bremer being maybe the sixth player of the game, but all of a sudden Gabby Gay has put her name in the running as well. Second free throw is good, and as Clark had mentioned, now 3 players in double figures for Cathedral. And a low pass goes out of bounds, and a turnover again by Heritage Christian.
There's that Cathedral pressure, and using that sideline as an extra defender. That's what they're going to do, is force you into those areas, shorten the width of the court, and apply pressure in those spots. And turnover.
How many times do you see a player go right to those corners, and you want to go out there and put some duct tape or something and say you can't
do not enter?
Yeah, do not enter.
Do not enter. Well, and I think a lot of kids, when you want to attack pressure, but you also got to be smart. Sometimes in a trap, it's okay to dribble backwards. I think some kids don't realize that they can dribble backwards, and that's not it's not football. You're not losing yardage.
That's right. Well, I'll tell you what, 2 straight offensive rebounds, and then a putback good by Nia Huff as they just beat Heritage Christian to the boards, and there's that area right there.
Do not enter.
Well,
and if you're Cathedral, that's exactly the point person on the Irish has got to do a really good job of angling that offensive player to that corner.
There is a timeout on the floor as we wait to see, will this be a full timeout? Nope, it will be a 30 timeout. Want to remind you, you can stay up to date with all the sports coverage on the sports page on IndianaSRN.org. You get scores, stats, and much more throughout the entire week. It is the sports page on IndianaSRN.org. And want to remind you, too, make sure you catch up on what's going on with the IHSAA Foundation. Subscribe to their newsletter. It's called The Advocate. Email them at ihsaa.foundation.org. Get a look at the Heritage Christian huddle. Still trying to find a way to battle back into this one, though, trailing at 46-27 here in the third.
Coach Finn's got to be happy. If you're the Cathedral Irish, you continue to stretch that lead each quarter. We talked about how the beginning of this quarter would be really important for Heritage Christian to get off to a good start. And so far only 6 points as we got 3 minutes left.
That will not get the job done. There's a quick release and a 3. Way off the mark by Jocelyn Marshall.
Just hard to find offense for the Eagles.
Yeah, they really seem like they kind of forced that one in desperation. We head back the other way. Gold pull-up jumper baseline missed, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch, though, looked like number 14, Boer, touched it there for the Eagles.
I like the control of Layla Gold there. Came to a nice jump stop, shot a 10-footer. We know we've seen her this game use that mid-range game to her advantage, but I like how she was just under control. Didn't finish the shot, but was able to put herself in the right spot.
Another offensive rebound put back no good as Gabby Gay had a couple of looks at it and still hustles after the basketball.
Still hustles after it and gets another possession for her squad.
And right now, Cathedral out rebounding Heritage Christian here in this third quarter and getting another possession as the ball is knocked away. Scrabble for it at midcourt, now into the backcourt, and then picked up by Corin Marshall, and she missed the wide open layup.
And you can just tell by her body language. We know Corin's had a tough, not scoring as much as maybe she'd like, but that was one for her that she would like to have had back for sure.
Have a whistle, that'll stop play, and a foul called on Heritage Christian. That'll go against Jocelyn Marshall. That'll be her first. Looks like that Jocelyn is coming out of the ball game. Jada Wilson into the lineup for Heritage Christian. Down to 2 minutes and change here in the third. Nice play on the inbound, but missing the short jumper is Bremer.
Yeah, they always say on an inbounds play, one of the most dangerous people is the inbounder.
Exactly. You always kind of forget about him, don't you?
And she was able to sneak in there behind the defense, and I think I kind of even caught her by surprise a little bit that she was so open.
You know, and then some teams, they will inbound to score. Other teams just inbound to inbound and get their offense set up. I like teams who try to score.
Oh, I was the same way. Let's try to, a screen-to-screener play is always effective. Get something where you might have a three-point opportunity or something close to the basket.
Another missed shot that time by Heritage Christian. That was Wilson on the miss, and so Cathedral back with it once again, coming up on a minute to go in the third. It is all Cathedral. They're looking to pick up their 6th win of the year. Three-pointer on the way good. That's Layla Gold, and she's having a big quarter.
Well, nice skip pass We talked about the skip pass and the out of bounds. There was just a flare screen. She flared all the way to the wing, got a nice skip pass, caught it in rhythm, 1-2, knocked it down.
That shot partially blocked, getting out on defense. Nia Huff, good job at Cathedral in transition the other way. Now, of course, I said the last time maybe they'll just go for one, but they had over 50 seconds to go the last time. As that one goes out of bounds, they went ahead and went for it at that point. We'll see a couple of changes again for Cathedral. Beasley back in, Lewis back in as well.
Yeah, 44 seconds left. Let's see if the Irish here get a shot. Look for that out of bounds. Girl throwing it in. Here's the baseline screen for it.
Yeah, she passes up that shot in the corner, missed it short as Bremer can't get it to go, and maybe a last opportunity here for Heritage, down now by 22. Cathedral, again, has shown many different defenses here today, this time back to the man-to-man, really forcing that Heritage offense out beyond the perimeter. Down to 15 seconds. Can they get a good look to end the quarter? Boy, tough call down on the baseline against Bremer. The outside official making the call there said that she got her with a body. Will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, and good defense, Joy, always starts with good ball pressure. And I think Cathedral's had really good ball pressure, whether it's been in that man-to-man or zone all afternoon, and it's caused problems for the Eagles.
Crook at the line hits the first free throw. She has 3. Will go back in for number 2. It's on the way and missed this one, so a last opportunity here for the Fighting Irish. Bremer across the timeline, slows it up. Here's Beasley. Beasley, the runner with the left hand, didn't get a really good look right there, and that's going to do it for the third. After 3 periods of play here at Heritage Christian High School, Cathedral on top of this one. Your score, 49-28. This is high school basketball on IndianaSRN.
Burtner Electric Incorporated has been proudly serving our residential and commercial customers with quality electrical repair for over 33 years. We are fully licensed and insured in electrical wiring and electrician service packages. You'll receive a competitive assessment, whether you're a homeowner or a business owner, first-time or long-time customer. We offer free estimates for any new project. Call our licensed and experienced electricians today.
Can't make it to the game? We've got your back. Just go to www.IndianaSRN.org and tune in to all of the live action, or go to our on-demand service and relive your favorite moments.
(49-28). There you see Cathedral with the lead, and boy, I tell you what, you got to give the Fighting Irish a lot of credit. You'd mentioned to me during the break they're about ready to pass their season scoring average, so they put the ball, 3 players in double figures. They're doing their job on both ends of the floor.
I like that Gabby Gay with her 10 points. I think, in looking at this game for Cathedral, they were looking for a third scorer, and Gabby Gay stepping up. A 5'9" senior is able to give them an extra punch to help out Bremer and Gold.
Gold was only out just at the end of that third quarter. They will have her back into the lineup as we begin the fourth period of play. And Cathedral using a little bit of clock here to begin the quarter.
It's smart strategy by Coach Finn, knowing that you have a lead. Don't force it. Just play your game.
Yeah, and they got Gold wide open on the wing for the easy 3. I like the way they executed that play.
And they handled pressure. They got the ball in the middle. Everything happened. Good things happen in offense when you can get the ball in the middle of the court. Defense has to sag. Gold wide open for 3.
Well, Heritage, their offense, if I'm not mistaken, only scored 7 points in that third quarter, and we've got a rebounding foul. See if they're going to get Heritage on this one, or will they get Gabby Gay backing into the Heritage Christian player, which it looked like to me it was Crook, and they are going to get Cathedral on the foul. So they actually called Beasley. It looked like to me it was Gabby Gay who was backing into her opponent. Well, you never know. It's a game of angles, and
it's not an easy job. That's right.
Everybody's got a different viewpoint from different angles, and we've got another foul call, and this time it'll be Bremer.
And if you're a Cathedral, that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to foul. You want that clock to run. You want to get defensive rebounds, and on offense, you want to run your stuff without turnovers, but don't foul on defense.
So as Heritage Christian will have the basketball, each team still under the limit here in the fourth quarter. 4 shot, no good. As we will head the other way, Wilson really didn't have a good look that time, but tried to get it between 2 defenders, and so Cathedral gets it back. They ran about 40 seconds off the clock in their last possession, which they generally haven't done a whole lot of here today as Gay misses the shot, but an offensive rebound. Good hustle inside by Lewis.
Well, and I like Katie Bremer's decision not to shoot that. Maybe a different time and a different situation. That's be a good shot after an offensive rebound, but understanding situation, clock, time, good choice to back that out, run some more offense.
Well, Clark, I'll ask you, as you see the drive and the kick, here is Gold again and hits another shot wide open from the wing. As a head coach, you probably think to yourself, listen, we're going to win this ball game, no doubt about that, but in the half court, maybe there's some things we can work on for some time down the road.
Yes, and you could do that. There are certain maybe offenses that you don't run, or you could maybe do, since Cathedral is all the same size and build, you could do some inverts where you're putting kids, maybe girls that mostly play inside, pull them outside, and your outside girls inside, and create some mismatch opportunities that way. We used to call that our invert offense.
By the way, the foul called on Lewis, that is her third. And that puts Wilson at the line to complete the three-point play. She will. So back to a 24-point ball game at 5:51 remaining. Couple of changes again for the Eagles as Jones back into the lineup. And they will full court press right here. Try to force some turnovers, but somebody's not getting back in time. A 2-on-1, and Bremer lays it in for the easy 2.
It's hard to press Cathedral because they've got girls with size that can handle the ball, that they can see over those traps. That was an excellent example there of Gold being able to find Lewis, who did a nice bounce pass to Bremer.
Another turnover. And the other thing, too, is, Clark, if you get beat at midcourt, you better sprint back and at least find somebody to guard.
Get to the block and find somebody. Find the ball.
Well, Heritage Christian just turned the ball over once again. I would imagine at some point Cathedral will bring their starters out, or what starters, and those that have played a lot here today will come out of the ball game. But right now we're still at 5 minutes remaining, and Bremer will give it back outside to Gabby Gay, and good job using the little clock right here.
Yep, just being smart, not forcing the issue, extending the defense, and you get a drive and a nice kick. There again, get the ball in the middle of the floor. The defense has to react, and then they're able to feed off that and get the ball to the post.
Well, a timeout on the floor right here. 59-31 is a full timeout. We'll take a timeout as well. This is high school basketball on IndianaSRN.
You want a career that fuels your passion for sports and physical activity. IUPUI School of Health and Human Sciences offers that and more. You'll have insider access to sports, fitness, and exercise science professionals and learn from faculty with years of industry experience. And with Indy as your classroom, you'll study next to world-class sports facilities, Olympic governing bodies, the NCAA, and the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. There isn't a better city than Indianapolis to get the experience you need to launch your sports industry career. It all starts here.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
There you see it, Cathedral on top, 59-31. Thanks for being with us this afternoon as the Fighting Irish about ready to win game number 6 of the season. After losing to a very good Lafayette Central Catholic team in their last contest, they were ranked number 5 in single A and coming back here, winning on the home floor of the Eagles. Nice way to get back into things, right?
Troy Cathedral doing it all on the defensive end. 28 or 31 points right now by Heritage Christian. They average 51 per game for the season. So big tribute to Cathedral's defensive pressure.
The Fighting Irish able to pull it out, and now you're forcing Heritage just to chase and try to foul and stop the clock, but they've really done a nice job moving the ball around the perimeter and able to kick out again.
Hot potato.
You always tell your players, you don't have to score again.
No.
We can hold it the rest of the game. You make them come get
That's
you.
right. Hot potato. Keep that ball moving and player movement, because Heritage Christian's going to have to gamble, right? They're going to have to. They're trying to get as many possessions as they can, so they're going to have to trap and gamble, and you just need to be. This could be one of those things where we said earlier, Troy, where they could work on.
That basket good. That is Lewis. Yeah, exactly. If you got some things you want to use maybe later on in the season that you're not going to show everybody a lot, why not?
Yeah, this would be a good time to use it up 30 points here. Be a good time to pull that out.
So Heritage with a basketball back the other way, and they've just gone cold in the second half, Clark. They really can't find anything.
Yeah, it's been tough sledding for them. Only 10 points here in the entire second half, as we see some of the Cathedral regulars, I think, going to come out, maybe back off the press a little bit here.
One of those coming in for Cathedral, number 20, Catherine Klein. So she's going to get some playing time here this afternoon. Eliza Langfelt also coming into the ball game is Boer, and take that back, Marshall. That is Grace Marshall getting the bucket.
Nice for Coach Finn to bring in a 6-foot sophomore off the bench.
Most teams don't have two. They got like 8 or 9 of them.
I'm telling you, what a luxury that is.
Yeah, spread the wealth around, right?
My post player was 5'6", I think.
No.
Yeah, we were pretty crafty.
There's a turnover pass intended for Gay. You know, and listen, not everybody has that luxury of having him, so as a coach, you got to adjust to the talent that you have.
You got to adjust. It comes with schemes. Sometimes you have to double team that person. Sometimes you put them in the front and have someone front and back. So you have to adjust coverage. That's the fun thing I really enjoyed about coaching was the schemes and coming up with systems and trying to put players that in the right spots to be successful.
So Heritage with the basketball, 61-33. There's Boer from 3.
Yeah, Audrey Boer's had a nice game. Give her 15 right now on the contest, and she's played really hard, the senior has.
By the way, you were talking a little bit during the break as you see Cathedral getting the ball across the timeline, and in that area, that's, again, the no-zone area. Don't go. But, you have some holiday tournaments that are coming up. I know that you look at Cathedral. They're going to be in a holiday tournament, and there was a time where the holiday tournament kind of went away, and now everybody's involved in them.
Well, it's a nice mix, right? It gets you kind of in that state tournament feel. Is a nice shot by Grace Marshall. Gets her first basket in an athletic shot. But getting back to the holiday tournament, it gets you that feel of a regional or semi-state where you play morning and night, because that takes a lot out of you doing that. So having some practice to go through that routine and playing a game and then maybe going through a team scout while you're eating lunch or something, it's good to go through that.
By the way, it was Klein who picked up the foul, and the three-point play completed there by Grace Marshall. And you're right, that was a heck of a shot she made a little bit ago.
That was pretty impressive. That was one that got you 4 or 5 points at recess.
Ball goes out of bounds, and it will go back over to the Eagles with just over 2 minutes, 1 second over 2 minutes to go.
Got some subs in for Cathedral, so although trying to keep Gold in for ball handling purposes.
Tough miss there by Corin Marshall. Yeah, you don't want to definitely take everybody out if the other team even has a remote chance of making any kind of a run, so you at least like one person in there to run everything.
Maybe get some of these other girls run some stuff for them, maybe an offensive set or a special play.
By the way, that foul was called on Grace Marshall. She has fouled out of the ball game. And here is Gold going to the free throw line. I believe she would be, and let's go ahead and maybe just say she's our player of the game in this one, right?
She's had a really nice game. 7 points there in the first half, but has hit 3 threes here in the second half, and now has 22 on the afternoon. So she's had a really good performance for the Cathedral Irish.
Boer missed the shot, went for the rebound. It goes out of bounds. And, of course, you had Bremer coming off the bench, Gabby Gay off the bench. I guess you could almost call them co-players, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They did a great job of help setting the tone. Bremer's one that I was kind of surprised that didn't have that starting nod. I've seen Cathedral play earlier in the year, and she was a big part of their success. But, maybe that's something that Coach Finn likes, is to bring that little spark plug off the bench as we get down here around a minute left, Troy.
By the way, Langfeld had missed the shot a couple of moments ago, and you'll see the Fighting Irish spread the floor again, just try to eat up what they can in the last 60 seconds of this ball game. As Gold dribbling away from pressure right there. Here's the stage where you go, you don't need a foul. Let's don't do that.
Yeah, just play some man-to-man and let the clock go. I know you want to coach until the end of the whistle, but there's also some, a right place and time where you can say, okay, let's circle the wagons and let's look at film and see how we can improve on from here.
Free throw by Gold is missed, and she struggled down the stretch from the free throw line, but now we're down to the last 47 seconds to go. Heritage Christian basketball, they're going to see their winning streak come to an end. Bucket good in the lane by Jocelyn Marshall. As you'll see, the Eagles fall to an even 500 at 6-6, and Cathedral will move to 6-5. Here's the stage of the ball game again. No need to foul right here. Let them run it through and end this ball game. As mentioned a couple of moments ago, you now think about what's coming up next as you go back to the film room and get ready to go back to practice as well, as this one has come to an end here this afternoon. Cathedral will win this one by a final of 63-41. Clark, no doubt about it, and we'll be real brief here at the end. Layla Gold had a great ball game today, but I think maybe overall when you think about the defensive pressure and the changes that Cathedral did, really was the difference in the ball game.
Cathedral set the tone early with their defensive pressure and able to really attack the basket, really set the tone for the rest of the game. Had Heritage Christian on their heels. Offense was pretty hard for them. They couldn't get in that drive kick game and get open looks, and Cathedral was pretty dominant from the get-go.
All right, so that's going to do it. Cathedral wins it by a final 63-41. They are now 6-5. Heritage Christian falling to 6-6. Hey, thanks for being with us. Thanks to the entire crew. Another great job here this afternoon as Cathedral wins it 63-41. We will see you next time. This has been high school basketball right here on IndianaSRN.